Hey everyone, this is Mary DeMuth at Pray Every Day, where I pray you through the Bible verse by verse. We're going through relational verses these days, which has been so insightful and so helpful. And I'm just really grateful for what I've been learning just rereading these verses. These are all from the 7 Deadly Friendships, comes out October 1st, and that book is sponsoring this podcast for the next 3 months, as well as you who are patrons of the podcast. Thank you so much to Catherine Wanson, W-A-N-S-O-N, for sponsoring the podcast at patreon.com/pray every day. Thank you so much, Catherine. I appreciate your patronage. You have been a blessing to me. So today we're reading from Luke 14, 8 through 11 in the NIV, the New International Version, and it says this: When someone invites you to a wedding feast, do not take the place of honor, for a person more distinguished than you may have been invited. If so, the host who invited both of you will come and say to you, "Give this person your seat." Then, humiliated, you will have to take the least important place. But when you are invited, take the lowest place, so that when your host comes, he will say to you, "Friend, move up to a better place." Then you will be honored in the presence of all the other guests, for all who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Mind if I pray for you? Oh Lord, these are convicting verses, and I pray that over the next week and month, you would teach us what it means to take the humblest seat, to take the lowest seat, to not demand that people praise us, to not try to curry first place in line, to not work so hard on bolstering up our reputation and schmoozing and trying to get our feet in the door and all the things that people do in this world to kind of get one up in the world. Lord, convict us of those kinds of strategies and instead help us to humbly serve. Your word reminds us the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. Help us to be like that. And Lord, help us to identify those folks in our lives who love to take the first seat. And maybe that's ourselves, but it could be other people in our lives who are just entrapped by their own pride and their own narcissism, Lord. I know one of the 7 deadly friendships is Narcissist Nolan, and I could really see Narcissist Nolan coming into a gathering and demanding the first seat. So, Lord, it's not easy to love people who are narcissistic. We can't understand them sometimes because we don't understand the audacity of it or the seemingly lack of conscience that folks like that have. So give us discernment when we encounter someone who's brash, who tries to get to the front of the line. And Lord, help us to learn what it means to love folks like that. Sometimes it means we need to pull away. Sometimes it means we need to engage and kind of push against some of the things that they're saying. Sometimes it just means silence for a while and not retaliating in kind. Lord, I don't know. Each of the people listening have different situations they're involved in with people. But Lord, I know in my own case of someone that I've been encountering a long time as a narcissist, I've had to have some long periods of time away. And so, Lord, I didn't like to do that. I felt like I was not really being a very good Christian by pulling away, but it helped me to heal so much. Lord, there are people out here who have continually been wounded by someone, and they keep going back into community because they think, well, one more time, I just need to have grace. I need to have grace. But they're so wounded that they can't even forgive anymore, and their bitterness is high. And so, Lord, for the sake of just having peace, I pray that you would give them the holy gumption to pull away, to heal, for the sake of possibly a new relationship later, but to heal so that they're not continually wounded. When someone is continually wounded and the bandage is ripped off over and over, that wound can never heal. So, Lord, give us discernment when to pull away. Lord, thank you for giving us another day of life. Thank you for breath. Thank you for providing for us. Thank you for providing for me. Thank you for loving those who have terrible battles right now. I lift up my friends who are battling cancer, and my heart is broken. And I pray, Father, that you would bear the weight of that burden, the fear, the worry, the sickness, all of that. Would you just bear that weight today? I pray all of this in your compassionate name, Jesus. Amen. Amen and amen. I do pray for you that that you will just experience the presence of God. His nearness is your good.